This video is probably going to be one of my favorites because I'm one course away from becoming an actual certified herbalist. The problem with that one course is it requires 400 hours of actual on-site training, and right now I just can't do that. But I love this subject. I love the fact that I can treat and promote healing with things that are coming directly from nature instead of from a lab. There are a ton of natural remedies around your home. You don't even realize you have them or what they can do, or that at least can be purchased, for instance, at a Whole Foods or a Fresh Market, or a lot of holistic pharmacies will carry these. And I will show you images of what you do want to have versus what you don't want to have in the quality of the items that you're purchasing. So let's get started and find out what you got around your home that's going to help heal you. Aloe vera. This is an easy plant to grow. You may have one already growing around you. It is abundant most places in the south, at least, all the way across southwest and southeast. It's great for minor burns. It's great for skin irritations, sunburn. But did you also know it is a great laxative? The juice at the base of the leaves of the aloe vera plant is the part you would ingest for that purpose. It stimulates the secretion of bile as well. Do not topically apply those bitter juices at the bottom of the leaves. They are not good for that. You can obviously apply the juice from the top of the leaves. The oral intake of aloe vera is not recommended for anyone who is pregnant or breastfeeding. And here we have cinnamon. I love cinnamon. I love adding cinnamon to any of my herbal remedies. It just gives it a better taste, and I like the smell. It's comforting. So it's an anti-diabetic, it's antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, antifungal, and it also helps with gas and bloating. It stimulates blood flow. It is a strong antioxidant. It helps with loss of appetite and digestive issues. It helps with colds and flu. It can be a mouthwash if you have thrush, if you've contracted thrush orally, and also helps with bronchitis. And here we have honey. And honey is something that most of us should have in our cupboard for one reason or another. It may be back in the back, but as you know from my other video on foods that almost last forever, honey can just be heated up and stirred, and you're back to the original way it was, liquid state. It's a natural antibacterial. It can be applied to wounds. It will help and prevent infection. That's why it lasts forever, because it's very, very against any bacterial growth. It just happens to be that way. It helps with healing. It helps with soothing coughs. It is antioxidant. It's anti-inflammatory. Also, local honey has been proven in small studies to help with allergies. So if you purchase local honey, the bees are feeding off of the flowers that you are allergic to, and if you ingest it, it's supposed to help you with allergies if you have those. I've not seen any large studies on it, but I have seen smaller ones. And here is a definite favorite of mine, garlic. Garlic is amazing. Garlic is anti-parasitic. It is antibacterial. It is an anticoagulant, antifungal, antiseptic, aromatic, decongestant, an expectorant. It helps circulatory stimulation. It lowers blood pressure. It treats infections. It treats fungal skin infections, yeast infections, bacterial infections. It is an aid for type 2 diabetics, prevents and breaks down blood clots, protects from certain cancers, is good for colds and flu, helps treat viral conditions and infections. It is not for wasting conditions, however, keep that in mind. Use caution if you are on blood thinners, and I personally infuse it in apple cider vinegar and let it steep for about 4 weeks, shaking it every couple days. And that is how I take my garlic. Echinacea. Echinacea is another major one. This is one that you can get at a health food store, at some holistic pharmacies. Don't just buy over-the-counter pills. Try, I believe some of the big grocery stores also sell this. Try to get it in some type of a more natural form. It is antiseptic, antiviral, antivenomous. It's an immune stimulant. It is antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory. It is a treatment for better metabolism, immune system, bites, definitely bites, both externally and internally, and that includes venomous bites. Bacterial infections, gum and tooth infections, it destroys free radicals, it helps with respiratory infections, wounds and abscesses topically, sore throats, it stops the spread of infection, and you use it on the onset of symptoms. This is not an everyday item that you should be taking. It is designed to be used for an acute situation, like right then when it happens or when you feel something coming on. Peppermint, and this also goes for spearmint as well. Either one is, they're kind of interchangeable. However, peppermint can aggravate reflux. So if you have acid reflux, if you have GERD, then definitely go with the spearmint, which is what I have to do because of my gallbladder. But anyway, I digress. It's an antispasmodic. It is a nervine, so it's relaxing. It's an analgesic. It helps with pain, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial. So it helps with gas, bloating, colic, IBS, nausea. It can be used as a chest rub, a decongestant. It works on insect bites. It tightens pores and is an antiseptic. I will tell you, we have a lot of this around the cabin because it repels mice and snakes. Ginger. You can buy ginger root at most larger, more organic grocery stores. Off the top of my head, the Fresh Market comes to mind. You can keep it in your freezer. Just put it in a Ziploc bag and keep it in your freezer, and you can just chop off what you need while still frozen. Just an FYI. It is an analgesic, so it helps with pain. It helps with bloating and gas. It is a digestive tonic. It helps stimulate your circulatory system. It's an expectorant, and it is anti-inflammatory. Do not take large doses during pregnancy. It treats colds and flus. It treats abdominal pain, arthritis, headaches, menstrual cramps. It lowers cholesterol. It improves your circulation, helps with indigestion, helps with laryngitis and belching. It also helps with hemorrhoids, heart health. It's an anticoagulant, so it increases blood flow. Lavender. Lavender is a multi-purpose herb as well. It is antibacterial. It is an antidepressant, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and antispasmodic. It is a bitter, so that's digestive. It alleviates bloating and gas, and it can also be a sedative. Be careful using it if you have allergies to other flowers or pollen, because take it in smaller doses to start with to see if it's okay, that you don't have an allergic reaction to it. Uses across the board: antibiotic, cancer treatment, dementia, sleep aid, pain, alopecia, hair loss, eczema, head lice, stress headaches, anxiety, depression, rheumatoid arthritis, oral ulcers, insect bites, and migraines. Chamomile, this is another one of my favorites. It is an antispasmodic. It helps with gas and bloating, digestive tonic, anti-inflammatory, reduces fever, and calms nerves. It is a mild sedative. It helps with fussiness, pain, settles the stomach, helps with colic and teething, fever, swelling, and inflammation. It can cause an allergic reaction, especially if you are allergic to ragweed. So definitely try this out in a small amount first and make sure that you're okay with it. Apple cider vinegar, and this is something that can be on its own. You take a teaspoonful a couple times a day, you put it into a salad, or I do a lot of infusions of apple cider vinegar where I put in some of these herbs I've talked to you about or other ones and have it that way. It helps with weight management. It helps with blood sugar control, digestive health, heart health, skin health. It's an antioxidant. It's antimicrobial. It helps with acid reflux. And it also helps with hair health. I do have to give you a caution. Do not use any of these remedies without doing your own research. These remedies are not intended to diagnose you or treat you. These things work for me. I cannot prescribe or recommend anything to you that you have not found on your own, researched on your own, etc. Don't go chugging a gallon of chamomile tea or taking an entire bottle of echinacea tincture, because these herbs and many, many more are potent and they will have an effect on you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, I highly recommend that you get your own herbal library. And as you can see, mine is actual books. I just find it more comforting to know that I have something written down in hard print that can't be taken away from me no matter what shtf situation happens. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you have found that helps you. And if there are any other herbs or flowers or remedies that you would be interested in, I will probably be doing more of these videos, interspersing them with our other survival and preparedness videos, because I think this is a very large subject that is not really discussed in the prep world. Thanks very much.